Hello, and welcome to The Blob from 1958, which was recommended to me on YouTube, and even though I'm aware of the remake, I've never seen either of them. And this one is with Steve McQueen, which I've said before is a great character actor, but this, I think, is more like a story-driven film. It's a horror science fiction, so yeah. That explains it by itself. And I've heard that this is one of the first films, if not the first film, starring Steve McQueen. Even on the cover, he's stated as Stephen McQueen and not Steve McQueen. So yeah. What I know about this film is that it's about a life form which is jelly-like, and it grows and grows and consumes people or something. Yeah. Which raises the question, can they just run away? I don't know. I have to say, I don't expect much from this film. I expect an entertaining film, but on a B-movie level, I would say. Yeah, that's what I expect. Yeah, and I'm very interested in the performance of Steve McQueen, because it's his first, or one of the first, or at least the first leading role. Yeah, okay. That leaves one more thing to say. Let's rock. That's a nice look. With the music. I like the music. And in color. It's in color. And because it's in color, it was not cheap. In the 50s, a film with color was very expensive. I think. The Blob. Let's go. Okay. Starts off with a love story.
I thought you were supposed to wish on shooting stars.
But I did.
But we only saw one.
A young Steve McQueen.
I mean, you can see him better
I
up
know
here.
what you mean, Steve.
And his name is Steve. Interesting.
Well, it may be crazy, but... Well, I believe
Even
you.
though he's pretty young,
Well, you're not crazy.
he already had that stare, that intense stare.
Boy, that was close.
How the sound travels at the same speed as the light. Kind of reminds me of Alien.
Steve, watch out!
He still has it on his hand. Finished working for the day. But not so quick.
Easy now, easy. Now, how are we going to help you if you don't let us see it?
Doc, it's gotten bigger. It was just on his hand before.
But it was on his hand. So it came from the space, And I wonder if it's an intelligent life form or not. The whole arm now. Now it moves. Now it gets interesting. But it has to grow quick. Otherwise, it wouldn't be dangerous. As I said in the intro, they could run away and be safe at a distance. So it has to grow quick.
Hey, we saw that too. A real big one. Like a skyrocket?
Oh, yeah, about an hour ago.
Do you think this is it?
I don't know.
Let me see.
Wow. A real piece of sky.
And if it came from space, I wouldn't touch it. Who knows what bacteria could have grown on it?
Oh, hello, Kate. Thanks for coming back.
It's okay. What do you want me to do?
Well, you better take his pulse, but don't touch that material on his right hand. It absorbs flesh on contact, like an acid.
And I wonder if it can split. Was it just one organism?
Kate, stand still. Don't move. Must have absorbed the old man completely.
It absorbed him.
Behind you, the trichloroacetic acid. Show it.
Doctor, nothing will stop it.
A gun.
A gun, oh yeah. Such a smart move. Why not put a knife in it?
Kate.
Why couldn't she run away? It seems very slow. And it's not that big that it could have blocked the exit. But that's what I expected. Just some silliness. I didn't expect much logic. It already got the dog.
Get in the car, Jane.
Oh, what are you going to do, Steve?
We're gonna go to the police. They'll know what to do.
If they believe you, then maybe.
Doc Hallen's been killed.
Doc Hallen, what happened?
It's over at his place. You gotta come
Now,
now.
wait a minute, Steve. Tell us what happened.
Well, I'm trying to tell you. Now, this thing had killed the doc.
Well, what was it?
Stop with it, kid. But it's kind of like a mass that keeps getting bigger and bigger. Maybe the thing you saw was a monster? Yeah, maybe it was. I don't know.
Look, he's not making it up. Dave, honest.
Dave, I'm not kidding, I swear. Come on over to the docks. You can see it for yourself.
You're crazy if you go. Can't you see it's a gag?
He says Doc Hallen's dead, Jim. We've got to check it out. Let's go.
As I expected, they won't believe him. But they are investigating it. And yeah, that's their duty. Okay, but what can actually stop it? Maybe fire. That's my guess. Fire. What else? But the blob absorbed the two people, so there are no dead bodies. Or bodies. Bodies. Dead bodies. Dead pals. So there's no proof, and they will still not believe them.
Dr. Hallen?
And the blob is already gone.
Lock. See if I can find a key that'll work.
No, the key's already here. Been locked from the inside.
Locked inside?
What about this, Steve?
I don't know, Dave. I can't figure it, but I know I saw the doc.
Ah, okay. The dog was in this room. And then he locked himself in. The blob absorbed him. And then maybe through the ventilation system. If there is a ventilation system. Must be. Or the blob can transform itself so it can go under the door. We will see.
Dad, it isn't vandalism. Dr. Hallen is dead, and he was killed by some sort of a monster. Now, I know, because I saw it, Dad.
Lieutenant, I want you to know that Steve is not in the habit of telling lies. If he says he's not mixed up in this vandalism, you can be sure it's the truth.
That's what every father would say.
Hey, where are you going? Oh, shh, Daddy.
Hey, where are you going?
What's his name?
Oh, any name you want, Danny.
Can I name him William?
No. I wonder how old his character is supposed to be. Because he looks like early 20s, but I think he's supposed to be like maybe barely 18 or something. Sometimes the focus seems a bit off. In this scene, the focus is on the plants in the background. She's like, and he's like,
On my way back here, I ran into Mr. Connors coming out of that bar in the building he owns over on 2nd Street. He just stopped in there and there was nobody there. TV was playing away, the cash register was sitting there with all the money still in it. Nobody around.
Okay, so a lot of people are missing already. And now I wonder how big the blob is by now.
We came here just to warn you.
Oh, a warning! Well, that's fine. I didn't know you cared.
Okay, one thing is the party where it will show up, and I wonder if the cinema is also a spot where it shows up and eats people. A lot of people in one spot.
That's funny. The door's not locked.
Do you think it's been open all night?
Well, I don't know. This is Friday. The store closes at 10, you know, and then old Mr. Wiedemeyer sweeps up and then he collects all the push cards. I'm sure he'd never be this late, not...
He's already dead. But it still looks small. Okay, it's bigger than before. Okay. It actually can transform to that degree. That's how it escaped from that room. Ah. It's going for the dog. Huh. But that means... I think what it means is that the blob goes for sounds. Which makes sense. For vibration. But that also means if nobody moves and makes a sound...
All right. We tried to do it the right way. Now we're gonna wake this town up ourselves.
Yeah, but how?
Yeah, how? Any way we can think of.
Why haven't they tried fire? Kill it with fire. That would be the first thing I would try. I mean, with fire, I mean kill the blob, not to wake up the town. Don't understand me wrong.
Where is my civil defense helmet? Where is it? Yeah. Together, I'll keep going. Fire! This has never happened before. What am I going to wear?
What are you doing here?
Guarding you.
Guarding us?
Guarding while sleeping.
Say, Dave, what is this thing kids are talking about?
I don't know, but if it's in the market, we'll all know in a few minutes.
Now all the
And it's in the
images of
cinema.
horror, the
I knew it.
demons of your mind crowd in.
Of course. Through the ventilation system this time. But that would be a missed opportunity not to have it in the cinema. It's way bigger now. Miniature. But the thing grew very quick in a very short time. Why now? Why now so quick? Air conditioned. But all the people escaped. Okay, now it's very huge. So I guess it already ate some people in there.
What goes? What happened out there? What?
No, Danny, we can't stay here. Come with me, Danny.
Now listen, it's too late.
If I would be them, I would be quiet. Everybody's screaming.
What happened?
It's all over.
What do you mean it's all over?
Take it easy.
What's the matter?
And they're still screaming.
I'm getting out of here.
Now wait a minute. You open that door and we have it. You understand? You want to die?
You still want me?
You want to die?
And they're still screaming.
Hello?
Steve?
Yeah. Hey, listen, that thing's all over us here. What?
I don't think it can be killed, Steve, but we've got to try one more thing.
Oh, okay.
Is everybody all
Fire.
Okay, but not for long.
We can drop a power line on it.
Ah, electricity. Okay. Haven't thought about that. But why? Why has no one the idea to try fire? Is it just me? Is it such a stupid idea? I don't know. Or the opposite, ice. Just freeze it to... Yeah, freeze it to death. Make a huge ice block out of it. And then you can smash it in pieces.
It didn't work.
It didn't work, okay. So it must be fire.
The diner's on fire.
Well, can we put it out?
Any suggestions how?
Maybe now they're trying the fire on it.
There's a fire! You gotta stop it!
And he's trying to put the fire out. That idiot.
CO2. Hey, that's it. It's cold. That's why it didn't come in the icebox after us. It can't stand cold.
Okay, okay. Can't stand cold. So that's the way. But they can't freeze it with fire extinguisher.
CO2. CO2.
Look, this thing has killed probably 40 or 50 people since last night.
40 or 50 people. All right.
What are they gonna do with that thing, Dave?
Well, the Air Force is sending a Globemaster in. They're flying it to the Arctic.
It's not dead, is it?
No, it's not.
Just frozen.
Frozen from fire extinguishers.
CO2.
And they put it in the Arctic, so or Antarctic, or whatever. All right, you know what time it is? That's right, the review. All right, that was it. That was The Blob from 1958 with Steve McQueen. Yeah. My expectations weren't high. And that's what I got in the end. What I expected. It kinda... But I have to say... even though it was a B movie, it was pretty entertaining. And... it had a very nice look. But on the other hand, there were the special effects, which were not so good, even for that time. But I think it's because of the low budget. On the IMDb, it says that the budget was $240,000, and that would be, I don't know, 2 million today, which is not very high. So I think if they had more budget, they would have done a better job with the special effects. The dialogue was surprisingly good. I had no issue with the dialogue. Even the acting was good. The dialogues were... so the writing in general, but especially the dialogues. The acting, the camera work was pretty good. But on the other hand, it had a lot of issues. For example, like the focus were off sometimes, and the actor, the face were blurry, and the stuff behind the actor was sharp. Some little errors like that. Or another example is in the beginning. I mean, it's not a big deal, but I saw it right away when the meteor hit, and I was saying like, the sound is traveling same speed as light, and then Steve said something like, I don't know how far away, but in reality it's a good measurement to get an idea how far it is away. But yeah, okay, but that's not important. I just noticed that. Yeah, and a few plot holes. Like the obvious one for me, the most obvious one for me was nobody tried to use fire against the Blob. And I don't know why. Maybe I've missed something. I mean, it wouldn't be the first time I've missed something, but don't you agree that this is the most obvious thing? That the film... Nobody tried fire. I mean, what the fuck? The first thing I would try to do is using fire to at least scare it off. Or I missed it, like I said, but... yeah. Maybe it was immune against fire, I don't know. And another thing is, I've noticed is, at first, the Blob was, small, and then it grew every time it was eating a person. And in the first half, or the 2/3 of the film, it grew, but very slowly. And just in the end, it grew very fast. And I think that's another plot hole. Because why all of a sudden? The one cop said later in the film that it ate like 40 or 50 people. But most people were eaten in the 2/3 of the film. So logically, it must have been way bigger when it arrived, by the time it arrived at the cinema. But in the cinema, it was like big like a human, and then it ate the wrong guy, the projector, and then it grew all of a sudden. I don't know. That was a plot hole, I think. Yeah. And the moving speed was pretty slow. People could easily run away, but it still managed to eat 40 or 50 people. But okay. I mean, it wouldn't be such a huge deal if the Blob had cut off the escape routes. That nobody could escape. And then the moving speed wouldn't matter so much. Yeah. The slow pace of the film was also very surprising. I thought the pace was very quick. Because it's 1 hour and 26, was it? 1 hour 26 minutes. So it's not long. It's very short. And they tried, and that's another thing. They tried to get the characters more depth. But in my eyes, it was kind of forced. It wasn't came naturally. Usually, I like that. If the pace is not so quick, slowly give the characters more depth. But in this case, I think it was not executed in a good way. And another thing is that the Blob was using sound, and everybody was screaming. Everybody was screaming. Why? Why? I don't understand. If I would be there, I would be quiet as fuck. I would be quiet, and I would have used fire in the first place. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I had quite a lot to say this time. For such a short film. And it was my first horror film on this channel. Okay, it was not really a horror. more like a science fiction. Yeah. But it's labeled as horror, so. Yeah. And to sum this all up, it was not a bad film, but not a good one either. But right in the middle. Not good, not bad. It was entertaining, despite all the errors I've talked about. Yeah, and it was nice to see a young Steve McQueen in his first major role. Yeah. Okay, and that's it. I have nothing more to say. Again. And with these words, see you next time. Bye bye.